very fast racing so far today, and more to come, I suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. With these conditions, definitely some fast times. Dartmouth making a great push in the second half of that junior varsity race moments ago as we come up to the start line for this varsity race for the Olympic acts, Yale and Dartmouth. And running through this Yale varsity lineup, a lot of racing experience at international and senior levels in this Yale boat, from bow to stern. Seth Hope, a first-year New Zealand. Andren Gulic, Swiss rower who was in the Olympic men's four this past summer in Tokyo. Lexi McLean, another first-year from Australia, who was in bow seat of this lineup last weekend against Brown. Marcus Emmett, another Australian, brother of Gus Emmett, who was in that Dartmouth junior varsity that just went down the course. Captain Jack Lopez, senior from New Zealand, who is in the New Zealand men's double in the Tokyo Olympics last year. Daniel Williamson at 6. Another Kiwi who was in the New Zealand men's 8 that won Olympic gold in these past Olympics. At 7 seat, Nick Rusher, who is in this U20, the USA U23 men's 8, winning silver at Worlds last summer, and stroke Fergus Hamilton, an Australian with international sculling background, and junior, and Vlad Shigo Coxon, who has never lost a dual race at Yale, winner of the U23 men's 8 gold medal, and undefeated at Yale except for one race in San Diego Crew Classic against Cal. As we're at the start here, running through the Dartmouth lineup, you'll notice immediately two last names, Hudgens in 4 and 5, brothers from Andover, Massachusetts. And William Bender, the stroke of this Dartmouth 8, was in that U.S. men's U23 8 this past summer.
So this is college rowing about as good as it gets. I think is the message that these lineups give you is Yale over there in lane 2 in the dark blue, and Dartmouth, of course, in the green in lane 1. This is fantastic competitive talent, up and down the line in both crews. This is the feature race of the day for the heavyweights. The winner takes home the Olympic axe, and all eyes now on the varsities as they go through their final moments here before the referee calls the start of the race.
If Dartmouth were to win this race, it would be the first time that they've won the Olympic axe as we go off the line to start this race. Yale having defeated Dartmouth in every prior competition for the axe. Dartmouth in the nearboat lane 1, Yale in lane 2. Dartmouth starting with that staggered start given the bend on this course. Obviously a very different crews in both boats from fall racing season, but this is the Dartmouth varsity that edged out Yale in the head of the Charles this fall, and Wyatt Allen has been building a lot of speed at Dartmouth over the past few years, and so I expect some strong racing between these two crews today.
It looks like a great start. Very clean, very powerful from both crews. Although I would give the early advantage to Yale as they move away from Dartmouth. They had a slight lead with the stagger start to begin with, and now they seem to have pulled away from Dartmouth. You see the stern there, the Yale crew right sitting on the bow of the Dartmouth crew, and so Yale looking maybe for an early knockout to try to eliminate hope from the Dartmouth crew as they settle into their racing cadences now in the first 500 meters of the race. What does it look like to you, Rudd?
Yeah, it looks like both crews are sitting between 37 and 38. Probably will be taking a bit of a shift down, though, given these conditions in the stream and just the level of racing, probably not. Yale looking pretty long through the entire stroke. But Dartmouth is definitely holding on. There is contact with the Dartmouth and Yale 8s. Dartmouth probably looking to continue eating into Yale's lead, but Yale does look to be ahead at this point in the race.
Yeah, and Dartmouth will have the advantage of the inside of turn. Boy, they got down to that turn fast. It's amazing between the speed of the boats and the speed of the river to cover the first 800 meters in under 2 minutes. I dare say will be very low 5 minutes for this race. The Dartmouth bowman, really paying a lot of attention to where Yale is as we head down the course. Dartmouth is on the inside of the turn, and so that will give them a slight distance advantage. But right now, Yale looks to be holding its lead over the Dartmouth varsity as we approach the 1,000-meter mark, the halfway mark of this race.
Yeah, both crews sitting at a 37. Dartmouth perhaps a little higher. Yale in frame right now, maintaining its lead over Dartmouth. Stroke Fergus Hamilton keeping the Yale stroke very long. Cox and Vlad Shigo definitely calling a move right now, as it looks like Yale's taking a few seats over Dartmouth. And we'll see, Dartmouth's response.
Yeah, the script here seems to be following the script of the junior varsity, in which Yale edged out to about a length lead. Now, in the junior varsity event, Dartmouth had a planned move in the third 500 that brought them back maybe 3 or 4 seats against Yale. So we'll see if that same strategy is in play here in the varsity race, with Dartmouth trying to make a charge here in the third 500. But right now, Yale absolutely in command with this nice long, powerful stroke and pushing out. Now they don't quite have clear water between them and Dartmouth, but it's very close. So Dartmouth is going to, given the speed of both crews, Dartmouth is going to run out of time here pretty soon to make a serious challenge to the Yale varsity.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting, as mentioned earlier, that both of these boats have a lot of horsepower. Jacob Hudgens and the near Dartmouth boat that has just exited your frame was also in that U.S. men's 23.8 that won silver at Worlds last year. A lot of racing experience across these two crews internationally, and just a lot of power, and you can really see it in these strokes as we enter the final moments of this race. Really fast racing out here today, given these conditions, and just both crews really laying it down.
Yep. And Yale not really dramatically challenged right now. They have a couple of seats of open water. They have really asserted themselves, I would say, in this race. And Dartmouth is going to be hard pressed really to make a serious challenge before the finish line. That's 500 meters to go, which means it's not going to be much more than a minute, given the conditions here. And Yale looking very comfortable, very long, and Dartmouth just frankly probably out of time at this point to make a serious challenge for the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw in that junior varsity race earlier, Dartmouth make a strong move in that third 500, and I would expect nothing less here, but it doesn't seem to be enough to keep digging into Yale's lead right now as we enter the final moments of this race.
Yeah, so looks like Yale varsity will remain undefeated. They are the number 1 ranked crew. Dartmouth, ranked number 4, will notch its first loss of the season, and there goes Yale crossing the finish line in an astonishing 5:16 or so unofficially. Dartmouth about 5 seconds behind. That is a remarkably fast time for a 2,000-meter rowing race, and a testament not only to the talent of both crews, but also, of course, to the river conditions. The Olympic acts will remain in Derby for another year. And we will be back to you in a few moments for the next contest, which is the lightweight junior varsity race between Yale and Georgetown.